Hey, what's going on, gamers? My name is Chris, and welcome to episode 5 of Horton Brothers Grimm, a video game podcast. And the two knuckleheads joining me, of course, are my real brothers, Scott and Zach. What's up, dudes?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, they are knuckleheads in real life. Hashtag knuckleheads in the comments when you rate the show, guys, please. Hashtag knuckleheads. We're going to be talking about Zach and Scott there. Just remember that.
No, that's Tonic for sure, because he has hair, or he did have hair. You can obviously see I am not a knucklehead.
Oh, he's a knucklehead. And remember, if he calls me Tonic, but that's my video game name over on my channel, Bang Bang Potato. Over here, I'm Chris, but that's cool. It's cool, Zach. I'll let it slide.
No, it's you're still Tonic's fan, Chris.
Well, you know, we've been calling him Tonic for so long, it's kind of hard not to.
And we should have been calling him
I need to get my
Toxic
name.
this whole time.
I need to get my name officially changed with the whatever you got to do, the National Register thingy. I don't know what it's called.
When'd you get married?
I married myself. I love myself.
He's going to change his name because he got married.
But guys, welcome to the episode. We really are happy that you're here, and we appreciate all the support that has been shown in the first 4 episodes. We really do appreciate it. And again, we're going to ask you, as always, if you have not yet, please go over to iTunes, leave a 5-star rating, and comment. It can be anything. You can comment anything, but we really want you to comment hashtag knuckleheads this time. Hashtag knuckleheads. We're not going to say the other thing that Scott doesn't like. We're going to let him slide this week.
Yes, we should let that other thing die.
Oh, there's another thing?
What could it be?
I don't know. You guys tell us. What is it?
Yeah, let us know in the comments on the ratings. And really, the reason I ask you guys that every week is because it super helps our podcast grow. iTunes really looks at the shows that are getting a response from the listener, and we know you're enjoying it because if you're listening to episode 5, you got to be enjoying this.
Yep.
So we really would appreciate if you go there and check it out. Now, we're not saying you can't rate it on other services like SoundCloud or Stitcher or Google Play Music, TuneIn, all those places. It's very important to hit subscribe and like the podcast too. But iTunes is the biggest of the big in the podcast world, so that's the reason we talk about it the most. Anyway, I'll finish talking about that now.
And soon
Thanks
you'll
for
be able to listen to podcasts on your Apple Watch.
Yes, Apple Watch we start support podcasts. It's pretty cool.
Watch
Is
OS
there nothing
5.
that thing can't do?
Dude, I'm telling you. Apple Watch is good.
Dude, Apple Watch. Apple, you better send us some watches or something because we're hooking you up.
And I also have my iPhone 10. So.
We all have iPhone 10s now.
Well,
Skip Scott.
Yeah, we gotta get Scott over to the Apple side. That way we can, like when iOS 12 comes out, we can do multiple FaceTimes instead of just to one person. Just letting you know.
Cool.
Anyways, moving on.
We have an orgy of FaceTimes.
Oh, Lord.
Yes. FaceTime orgy. Woo, woo, woo.
This guy.
Oh, my God.
Who wants to end? Scott, Zach, get in here. It's time to FaceTime orgy. I think that's what it's called, FaceTime orgy.
I don't want to have anything to do with that.
There's definitely something wrong with you, and you should have yourself checked.
Yes, definitely. You are the middle child, though, so we know you're the weirdest.
I'm like so off and so, so it can't be helped that doctors refuse me at the door.
This is what happens. This is what happens when you plan children, people. Okay, just have kids. Just let them be spontaneous. Don't plan them, or they will be weird, and then they'll eat life cereal.
Delicious.
Live cereal. Okay, that's...
Well, I know the slogan was, unless they're weird, your kids will eat it, but you have to be weird to eat that disgusting stuff.
That's true. That stuff was pretty...
The reason you lasted longer in life with it is because it's like eating tree bark, okay? Anyways, what's our first topic, gentlemen?
Our first topic to gay.
To gay. All right.
Yes, to gay.
To gay.
That's what Chris likes to do.
Hey.
To be happy.
Embrace the rainbow, people. Embrace the rainbow.
Like Skittles.
Embrace it, people. We are not against that in this podcast. We love it. Embrace it. All right. So, today we're going to be talking about 3 games. One from the past, one from the present, one from the future. The game from the past today is going to be Earthworm Jim.
Awesome.
Talk about it. Ayo.
Groovy.
Groovy.
Whoopee!
Okay. So, of course, we love that game. The game from the present is called Far Lone Sales, which is awesome. I just live streamed this game on my channel, Bang Bang Potato, a couple weeks ago. Played the full thing. It's a short game, but it's really excellent. And our future game is Mega Man 11.
Which is not too far in the future, boys and girls.
It's not October, what,
2nd of October.
2018.
I'm going to strive for a live stream on launch day. Just saying.
Launch day live stream, can't beat that.
That'll be awesome.
So again, today on episode 5, we're going to mix it up a little bit. We mixed it up last episode and we liked how it went. So today we're going to start off with the present day game, which is Far Lone Sales. Far Lone Sales came out May 17th, 2018, which is only a few weeks ago. From when we're recording this podcast, it's like, 3 weeks ago now?
Yes.
Right.
It's available on Windows 10 and the Mac, but they are planning on releasing it on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox very soon.
But at least
there
you
are
can play
no
it on
dates
the
on
Mac.
that, though. Yeah, you can play it on the Mac. That's pretty unusual. When a game comes out and automatically is on the Mac, too. It's like, whoa. That's pretty cool. Developer, I know it's more usual nowadays, but still, it's still not as usual.
Yeah.
The developer of this game is called Okomotive.
Never heard of them.
Exactly. Well, the reason you haven't heard of them is because this game started as a bachelor's student project, and his name is Don Schmacher.
Schmacher.
And he's from the Zurich University of the Arts.
Like Zurich, overseas Zurich.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Nice.
Schmacher's your main developer, and he created this during his tenure of college to earn his master's degree.
Yeah, so like his master's thesis or something, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. And he went all the way through his master's creating this game, and he was inspired from games like Journey and Little Big Planet.
Nice. Those were great games, too.
Oh, yes. Excellent games. And his main goal in this game was to have the player focus on the vehicle of the game instead of the character itself. So your actual main character in this game is the vehicle.
Huh.
Your sub-character is the character that's running the vehicle.
So take care of the ship and you'll take care of yourself, basically.
Correct. What's cool about this game is if you don't, the sub-character doesn't die. The person running the ship never dies. But the ship can die.
So what happens if the ship does get, destroyed in this case?
Well, in this game, it starts you back at a certain checkpoint. A certain point in the game. It doesn't really let you know there's a checkpoint. It just takes you back a little further than where you just were. Not too much. It does a pretty good job of putting you at the beginning of like a smaller section. It doesn't make you go all the way back. It's not hardcore 80s retro game or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So it does a wonderful job of allowing the player to continue where they were, and it's got a lot of puzzles that you have to solve. So you'll hit a point where you can't get past a gate. So your character, you take the sub character, is what I'm gonna call it. We don't know if it's a boy or a girl, by the way. It's in a rain jacket, and it does not say. It does not say in the game that if it's a boy or girl.
Right, of course.
It's not gender specific at all.
Well, that's also
which
good.
I thought was a good choice for this game, especially because this game is designed for the player to kind of create the story. Because the story begins that the character is standing outside of its father's grave.
What?
And yeah, you're standing outside your father's grave. Now, again, we don't know if it's a boy or girl. And the game is based on an ocean, like a dried up ocean floor. Okay, so you're basically in an area that's up against the ocean and everything's drying up around it. So you start off the game. From there, you go to your ship. And then the game is all about the ship. It's very... Go ahead.
So your ship, once you get in the ship, it's all about getting from point A to point B and having to deal with all the obstacles and puzzles and everything in between, right?
Correct. That's right.
That reminds me of real life, going to work.
The
Yep.
cool Cool thing about this vehicle is that it's a land and sea vehicle, so it can get in the water. It also drives on land.
And
the ultimate tour bus.
Now, this kind of game is right up my alley because it's the storyline is intentionally vague. It allows the player to kind of use their imagination of actually what's happening around them and what the character is, what the goal is in the game. It's just a genre of game that I am super into. It's technically a puzzle platformer, but it's an open storyline that you can, like I said, I like using my imagination. So I like to play these kind of games. And I think anybody who does, enjoy creating stories in their mind would love this game.
Right.
So once you get into the ship at the beginning, you have to work on the inside of it. On the inside, you have to fill the boiler with fuel. Now, where you find your fuel is anywhere. The cool thing about this game is kind of like what I describe it as is like Back to the Future 2, when Doc
Mr.
pulls up and
Fusion.
says, Mr. Fusion, right? He's got the Mr. Fusion hooked up onto the DeLorean, and he's like grabbing banana peels and cans and just coffee grinds, whatever he can to put in.
Dumping the liquid in and then threw the can in. I'm like, wouldn't you just throw the can in there with the liquid? Wouldn't it be fine? Just saying.
So this ship this is what this ship does. You'll be driving the ship along and you're trying to control a couple different things in the ship. To fill the boiler, you'll see like, oh, there's some boxes and there's a barrel. So you'll stop the ship, get out, and load that stuff in. And at first, you have to go outside and manually pick up the boxes and bring them in and put them in. And there's got little hooks inside the ship that you can keep your fuel inventory. So if you find more, say your fuel is full, you still can go outside and pick up the barrels and the boxes and hang them up on hooks until you need them.
Oh, that's cool. Like a fuel reserve then. That's good.
Correct. It's always good to store up your fuel in this game because there's certain points where you're trying to go up a hill, for instance, and you need to super boost the boiler. And what's cool about this is like you get the boiler going and it gets full, but then you push in this button and it makes the ship go. But then there's a steam gauge. Once the steam gets to a certain point, it starts blinking red, and you have to hit the other button to let the steam out, or to shut the ship down.
Damn.
Yeah.
So you hit the steam button, and the steam kind of propels you forward, though. So it gives you a benefit if you keep an eye on it the way you're supposed to. It pushes you forward. But then there's other parts of the ship. There's on the top, it's called far lone sails. So at the top, guess what you have? You have sails.
Nice.
And at the beginning of the game, you don't have this on your ship. But as you move forward, you start upgrading your ship piece by piece. There's areas where we hit this little factory area and you hit a button, or you have to solve a puzzle and it'll load the new device onto your ship. First thing, you get sails. So you can use the wind. When the wind's blowing, there's a little flag on top of your vehicle that shows you that the wind's blowing. So you go up there and you can turn the sails on and you don't have to use the boiler. It'll just take you away without using your fuel.
Sweet.
But you can also use the fuel at the same time. So you can make it go even faster. So you can get a super boost of speed if you really want to. But at the same time, you got to really be careful about preserving your fuel to get to the end.
Yeah.
And it's got other parts of the ship. You end up getting a welder. You have a hose that you can put out fires with, because certain parts of your ship will catch on fire at certain points, especially when there's a storm, like lightning storms or hail storms. So you have to be putting out some fires. Now, if you get a hailstorm, you got to find shelter and cover for your ship. If you're in a lightning storm, your lightning's going to hit it at some point, of course. So you're going to need to pay attention to what parts are on fire and whatnot. So you're really running around crazy trying to keep the ship going. But in certain points of the game, you're just chilling. You turn your sails on. You get up on top of the ship. You can hit RT on your controller, and it'll zoom out, right? And the beautiful thing about this game is it is so pretty. It is so ridiculous. The art style of this game is insane.
Yeah,
they created the art. Oh, go ahead, Scott.
Well, I was just going to echo that. I mean, the graphics, from what I saw of the gameplay and the trailers and everything that I watched, it's really visually stunning. I mean, it is really pretty.
dude, it's so beautiful that during my live stream, I was talking to everybody that was watching, and I'm like, I'm gonna shut my webcam off for a minute here because I'm gonna go back and take screenshots of this, and I'm gonna make a painting. I'm gonna get a print made of this thing. Not really a painting. I couldn't paint it, but I'm gonna get a print and hang it up on my wall somewhere. That's how beautiful this game is. It's got so many beautiful moments in it that you literally could print the screen, go get you a fancy print made up and frame it, and then people are going to be like, that is an amazing piece of art. That's how beautiful this game is. It's one of the prettiest games I've ever seen. And this guy made this when he was in college. He made it, the graphics were made with Blender and Adobe Photoshop.
That's freaking insane.
So they didn't use anything fancy. They used these tools that is accessible to anybody out there at a decent price too. Adobe Photoshop costs you about $20 a month if you do their little pay by the month plan.
You do you can do the yearly Creative Cloud and get not only Photoshop but anything Adobe really offers in that Creative Cloud. I think it's like $240 a year.
Which is a pretty fair price because normally before they did that, they sell it for $1,000.
Yeah, it's like $500, $600 just for the one program.
Just one program,
right.
Yeah, it's
and
crazy.
that didn't count updates. Sometimes there was a lot of content update that you needed to do as well.
So it's pretty impressive what they've done, how this game was created. Then you talk about the art style. Then you come in with the music. Oh, the music, guys. The music just fits perfectly into the game. Like you're in this open world and you see a bunch of windmills across the plains and the music kicks in. You're just up on top of the ship as it's carrying you by the wind and you're just chilling. I'm serious. I could just sit back and just watch that and relax, probably take a nap.
Yeah. And
the ship's going to go on its own until you, of course, hit an obstacle or something. But still, it's so relaxing and cool. Really, really nice. So,
it's nice.
It's very nice. So the game, guys, for you out there, it's a side-scrolling perspective, and you get to see the vehicle interior. Now you can zoom out with RT and zoom out, and you can see the ship as a whole. You can't see it on the inside, but one thing I really liked about it was the boiler. You could tell how much fuel it had from the outside because they made in the center of it is a little glowing orb-looking thing that shows you the level of the fuel. So if you want to appreciate the game from afar, you can still see that your vehicle's how it's doing on its fuel. So you can keep it so if you want to zoom back in with LT, you can zoom real close and do all the stuff you need to in the vehicle. Then you can zoom back out and just watch the thing go. So really neat. I like that concept a lot. I like that you can see the fuel when you're trying to appreciate what the game looks like and how everything is going around it. It's just, that's how beautiful the game is. I can't say that enough, that you just want to watch and appreciate what you're seeing.
Yeah, it's really, like I said, it's really nice to look at. I mean, I agree with you because I've never seen a game that was that clean as far as the graphics. I mean, it just, I don't know, the design of the ship, the way it's built, it looks really cool.
Oh, it's a unique looking ship too. Yeah, it's got lots of cool pieces. What I meant to say earlier on the pieces of the ship, there's one thing you pick up at the end, which is very handy, was a little suction vacuum thing that's on the end. So when you hit those boxes and barrels that are your fuel, it automatically just sucks them in.
Yeah, that
so
makes
you don't
it
have
easy.
you don't have to stop your ship. You can just keep going. But the puzzles in it are really cool. They're not super difficult puzzles. They're not trying to fry your brain here. But they are creative enough to where it takes you a minute to think about it to figure it out, which I like. I love puzzles. I like puzzles that aren't trying to just again frustrate you and just make you quit playing for a while.
Yeah.
I like it when they make it where it's something you can figure out if you put a little thought into it, or just trial and error. And again, the music is by Mixed Vision, which is also one of the publishers of the game. And the music, if the music wasn't in this game, it would be a different situation. The art style is pretty, but the music just brings it all together. The music is great. The soundtrack is out. And I've actually purchased it myself. It's $4.99. I bought the soundtrack. That's how awesome I loved it. That's how great it is. I'm like, yeah, I'll pay $5 for that because I'll just sit back and listen to that before I go to sleep at night or something. So Far Lone Sails is great. It's a short game. I beat it in about 2.5 hours. And I did play it all on a live stream, so I was stopping and talking to people, things like that. So you're about 2.5 hours on this game. It's not long. The current price of the game is $14.99, which I think is a pretty good price because it's replayable. I think a lot of people would replay this, including myself, because of just wanting to enjoy the art, to enjoy the feel of the game.
Right. Well, but do you think with the replayability, because of the way it looks, would it be replayable as far as, say, difference in the way the game plays, or say a difference in the experience of how you get from one point to the other? I mean, would it be any kind of difference, or would it just be the same thing over and over?
No. Yes, it is the same. It's going to be the same experience game-wise. Gameplay, mechanics, and everything are puzzles. There's no 2 or 3 different ways to solve a certain puzzle. It's one way to solve a puzzle.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, some people may not like it as far as replayability goes.
Yeah, but it would be like a relaxing time waster or something if you.
Yes, exactly. It's one of those games where, like, if you're just chilling out one day, you just got to do a tough Fortnite session or a really intense PUBG game, and you just want to chill out a little bit and relax. Throw this game on and just enjoy it, and have fun.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because the game doesn't have any enemies. And to me, in my little review I've written, I say that the enemy in the game is your own mind.
Of course, it's you.
Because
you're the enemy.
You're the enemy in this game. Just because of how you're going to think things through as far as the puzzles go. How to use your fuel is the main thing in this game. And then there's a couple points in the game where you're going to need to figure out how to cover your ship up because it's getting beat up with hail.
Yeah. And
that thing will burn up. I've died twice in the game. Or my ship died twice in the game.
It's probably due to laziness.
Well, I didn't. It took me a second to realize, wait a second, I got to get this thing into cover instead of trying to put out the fires.
Right, of course.
Everything was catching on fire. And I was like, well, I'm putting out the fires. My natural instinct was to put out the fires.
Well, Alicia Keys must have been riding with you.
She could have been. She wasn't doing shit. She was taking a nap because it was burning up in the ship.
That's what I'm saying. She's on fire.
She's on fire.
This girl's on fire. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna let you slide on now. Anyway,
it's a great pun, and you just missed it.
Again, guys, on part of my review, you're not gonna find better game visuals than this one. It's really great. It's one of the best ones out there. If you can find one, that's better than this. That's current game. Let me know. You just let me know. And then the music again brings all the moments together because it does have some awesome little moments, and the end of the game is really nice. And again, remember this game doesn't have a story per se. It starts off with, hey, my father's dead.
Right.
And then you're getting in a ship and you're trying to make it. You're trying to go to something. I'm not going to give away what you're going to because you don't know what it is until you get there. So I'm not going to spoil it for you. But it's really neat.
So don't watch really this stream. Well, until after you finish listening to this, of course.
Well, go back and watch if you want to. Leave a like and comment. And subscribe to my channel.
Subscribe, and comment.
And again,
click the linkies.
Oh, Lord.
I stopped in the game while I was live streaming. I would stop and just talk to my viewers. But another reason I stopped is because I just want to admire the environment and music. It's just, it draws you in. Really great experience. So I'm very happy with Far Lone Sales. Now, let me give you a few of the media reviews here. The writer for Mashable, Anna Washenko, named the game as one of her favorites from E3 2016, called it a simple but lovely game. So that's a great way to describe it. Simple but lovely. And then Chris Livingston, a PC gamer, described it as one of the most intuitive games he had ever played. And he also praised the visual design and music. So me and him have that in common.
Yeah.
Charlie Hall of Polygon, he described the game as having more meaning conveyed silently than any other major AAA games released. So as I was telling you, this game doesn't have a story, but it just draws you in and just conveys it silently. It does. You're like, you're just in awe of it. And then Kyle Hilliard of Game Informer, he praised the game's ability to connect the player to their vehicle, the world building, and the puzzles. So you do get attached to your vehicle. You keep it going and stuff because just the main subject of the game. It's the main character. So you're trying to keep this ship alive. And there's some awesome, cool little things that happen through the game, guys. That really just make you're just in love with this ship. It's kind of like a transformer in a way, the way it can change and do different things at certain points.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got an 8 out of 10 on GameSpot. And again, they praised the visual style and ease of play. And it was a finalist in the Best Student Game category at the 2017 Independent Games Festival. So I do want to give a shout out to the creator of this game. His name is Don Schumacher. Don Schumacher. I said his name earlier in my discussion, but he is awesome. Don Schumacher, if you ever listen to this podcast, I bow to you. You are the man. This is a wonderful game. I hope you make more like this. Keep it going. This is one of my favorite games I've played in a long time, so thank you for that. Scott, Zach, I've talked a lot here. What do you guys have for us?
From what I watched of the stream, I thought it was a pretty intense game as well as beautiful.
Yeah, it's like it's like we've all said. I mean, like it was visually stunning. I mean, the graphics and the design of the game, they did a really good job on it. The zooming in and the cutaway section of so you can see the interior of the ship reminds me a lot of that that game that some of you guys played. That, what is it? Dive Deeper or
Gotta Go Deeper?
In the submarine.
Subnautica.
No, Gotta Go Deeper.
The one where Go Deeper.
Oh,
that's it.
Yeah, Go Deeper.
Go
I'm
Deeper.
sorry. Yeah, Go
Sorry.
Deeper. That's an awesome
I never
game.
played that game personally. Go Deeper was kind of wacko. So.
Yeah, I mean, but it reminds me of that in the aspect of the way you control the ship and take care of it with the cutaway and all that. So,
yeah,
I mean, it looks like it would be, like I said earlier, it would be a good relaxing couple hours or 30 minutes at a time, however you needed to play it. If you wanted to use something just to chill out and hang and just relax instead of playing something that was, really intense and needed a lot of interaction. It seems like it would be fun.
Oh, it is. It definitely is. Take my word for it. Take my 26 minutes of talking about it word.
Trust me. A long time of talking about bar sales.
Yeah. I cut myself short because I could talk about this game for a while. This is wonderful.
He is very passionate about this game.
But
that's okay.
I really am.
You got to be passionate about something.
Try it out.
Or things.
Yeah, give it a shot,
more than
guys.
one thing. I promise you.
So, how about we go to commercial, fellas?
Let's do that. Let's take a break, get some water, recharge our batteries, and I'll try to wake up.
All right, wakey, eggs and bakey. We'll see you guys after the break. Okay, gamers, Chris here again. Did you know you could get a curated bundle of games worth over $100 for just $12 a month? It's true, and Humble Monthly does just that. Use our partner link, tiny.cc/Horton Grimm. Click on the monthly tab and sign up today. If you're a first-time buyer, you will receive 10% off your first purchase. Don't worry, they don't send you worthless games. No siree. Each game is selected based on user reviews on Steam. Only positive reviewed games qualify. Remember, use our humble link, tiny.cc/Horton Grimm, to check out Humble Monthly today to get awesome games, support charity, and support this podcast. Now, back to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. That break was awesome. It's like the best commercial I've ever heard, ever.
We hope.
Roll on the highway. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Alabama's in our head because Scott's always like, I'm like, are we ready to record some more, guys? And they're like, yeah. And Scott's like, roll on. So we start thinking Alabama, roll on, blah, blah. I don't know all the song words, but the song words, not lyrics. I don't know all the song words. But yeah, anyway, we're back.
Jesus.
And we're fixing to talk about the retro game, which is a wonderful, difficult, amazing, super awesome game called Earthworm Jim.
Ayo.
And Mr. Scott chose this game for today's discussion. So, Scott, start giving us all the deets about this awesome game.
Well, Earthworm Jim was released on August 2nd in 1994. It was originally released for the Sega Genesis and later ported over to the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. The developer was Shiny Entertainment and was published by Interplay. So, the creator, the guy that came up with the idea, the concept, and this is an interesting thing, the reason the game was developed was because Playmate Toys decided they wanted to start their own character franchise. And this guy, Doug Tennapel, I guess that's how you pronounce his name. I have no idea. I apologize, Mister. What's your name?
I think it's Tennapel.
Is it Tennapel? I don't know. It looks like Tennapel. I don't know.
Tennapel? Yeah, okay. Tennapel.
It's possible. I don't know. So anyway, the game was developed based on a sketch that this guy drew of an earthworm. And because of the success that Sonic the Hedgehog and other characters of that nature had with franchises, they decided to build their own franchise and start with a video game. So the game was a side-scrolling platformer and had shooter elements. It was noted for its platforming, shooting gameplay, surrealist surreal humor, and edgy art style. All right,
I'll get you some hooked on phonics.
Yeah, I know, right? Hooked on phonics. Anyway, so this guy approached Shiny Entertainment, and the company liked it. They decided to run with it, and then Doug was kind of, I don't know, limited to a little bit of the game design and some level ideas, and he was also the voice of the character in the game. Now, if you've never seen this game, just a little background on it. Earthworm Jim is an earthworm who finds a spacesuit and somehow joins with the spacesuit and actually becomes a two-legged, two-armed person with a gun going around destroying things that get in his way. Now, this game was developed and created as a satire for the most part because the company who was making this game, Shiny Entertainment, was previously limited to only making video games based on product licenses from well-known companies. Take like the Cool Spot from 7-Up.
And that was a horrible game, by the way.
Oh, yes, it was terrible.
Ugh. What about, did they do the damn game about the pizza guy, Noid?
Yo, Noid?
Yeah, I think they had something to do with the Noid.
I'll find out who did Yo Noid. Y'all keep talking.
Yo Noid sucked.
But then the character that Earthworm Jim has to rescue, Princess What's-Her-Name, and that was her name, actually, Princess What's-Her-Name, she was really a parody of how a lot of the video games of the time treated the female characters. I mean, they were really nothing except for someone to go rescue. And
wait a second.
It was Capcom boys made Yo Noid, even though it was shitty.
So that's what happens when Capcom gets drunk. They
also did Nemo's Dreamland or some shit.
Now, hey,
that was an awesome game.
Cool.
So. But Yo Noid was terrible, but it was also pretty funny.
Right.
But I was trying to say something now. I can't remember. Yes. What I know they're saying making fun of the trying to save the girl type of deal, but come on, guys. We all know if we're dudes, if there's a hot lady that needs our help, we're going to be there.
Yeah, but
and that makes us want to play the game.
Right, and that's
what kind of creature was Princess What's-Her-Name?
I got B or some shit.
I mean, you're an earthworm.
I don't remember.
What would be attractive to an earthworm?
I'm not going to answer that question because we can't post that on the podcast. But it's an earthworm. It has a certain shape. Anyway.
Actually, I'm serious. She was a bee.
Okay, I know you were serious. You know that game a lot more than I know. I like the game a lot.
And the way you could tell she was, she had boobs and stuff, but I mean, she had the I guess maybe she's a wasp or something because like the top half of her is like in the black latex, and then the bottom half is the black and yellow striped latex. It was it was interesting.
Okay, so this game, Earthworm Jim, it was so popular that it spawned 3 sequels, one of which was on the Game Boy and Game Boy Color. And it also had a cartoon series that was on WB Kids. It had 2 seasons, like 23 episodes, and it basically covered the characters from the game. You know, the villains were the same villains that were in the games, and along with a new character or two, the foremost of which was Jim's evil twin, Evil Jim.
Evil Jim.
So
Captain Kirk.
I mean, you know, so there was even a 3D game, you know, like they did with the Nintendo 64 when they did Mario 64. They tried to go the same route with Earthworm Jim.
I remember that game.
But it was not well received at all.
It was crap.
Oh, it was terrible. The game, it was created by VIS Entertainment. It was a different company altogether because the guy who was in, like, the head man at Shiny Entertainment, they got acquired by Interplay. And so Interplay had Shiny Entertainment working on several other things, and they didn't have time to actually convert and do the 3D version of this game. So they handed it off to VIS Entertainment. Well, this game was so bad, even the original creators of the series had nothing good to say about it. I mean, it was not a success commercially. It didn't make money. It was just terrible. So it did not get a good rep. And it actually kind of hurt the Earthworm Jim series. There was actually rumors of an Earthworm Jim 4 back in 2008, but nothing ever came of it. I mean, after, I think there was a couple of more mentions of something being worked on, like in 2010 and 2011, but there was never any movement on it. And to this day, as far as I know, there's not.
Well, I'm sure somebody had a movement.
Well, somebody somewhere might have had a movement on a physical copy of the cartridge, but that's neither here nor there.
I'm trying to tell you this: the 3D version of Earthworm Jim was a movement.
It was definitely that. Definitely that.
Also, on a side note, sorry to interrupt you. Sorry. On a side note, Princess What's Her Name was the ugly sister. I'm not even kidding. You know, they were insects. Come on.
Yeah.
So, what was it? Queen Slug for a Butt, I think, was the boss. And you had to go.
Right.
Yeah.
It was
this game has so many creative
pretty retarded
things to it.
I know, right? The Psychro, Pete the Pup.
Yeah, the Pete the Pup was bullcrap.
I know, right?
You had to catch the puppies.
No, if you didn't catch the puppies, Pete the Pup was a fucking Hulk, okay?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You had to catch them. If you didn't catch them, the dude come at you.
Yeah.
And I think it was a female.
Very upset.
Because it was her puppies.
She got very upset. Whatever it was not a very pleasant
She had a comma part right there on your face.
Yeah. She would kill you immediately.
Yeah, it was wild, dude. This game, the first 2 games, Earthworm Jim 2, were some of the funniest, most irreverent video games that I'd seen or played.
Worse.
Now, one of my favorite things was the launching the cow. I love that.
Okay, so no, see, you must not have ever watched me beat the game then.
I haven't myself ever beaten it. I know I watched you guys play it a lot, but
I'm going to say spoiler alert, so turn it down for about 10 seconds. When you launch the cow, you effectively kill Princess What's Her Name.
Oh, God.
Except for she's alive in the second one. So it's really fucked up. The cow lands on her at the end.
There's no rhyme or reason in this game. They can do what they want.
Right.
They can make up anything.
What's hilarious, though, at the very end, Earthworm Jim does something I won't tell you what that was, but it's like the funniest thing. It's in the game. Well, one of the funniest things in the game.
Well, you can. I will say this: you can spoil it.
I'll go ahead and spoil it. Then he steals her crown.
This game came out in the 90s.
He steals her. He steals her crown that was laying on the ground after the cow landed on her.
Oh no!
Yeah, and it's like after the cow lands on her, he's like, "Whoops, I gotta go." He pretty much just walks the fuck off the screen. And then they fall into this pit of red ooze because in part 2, I'm pretty sure that Psychro kidnaps her. So that's who you're chasing in part 2 is Psychro.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of useless knowledge for you guys out there.
Well, we could probably make that the tagline for our entire podcast.
Yeah, that's true. Just a little useless knowledge. So, the original game was a 2D platformer shooter. It was side-scrolling. Some stages were very difficult to complete.
Would stages?
You guys agree with that?
Let's not talk about the underwater ship.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about the whole dog thing. I mean, there's tons of bad problems, and
the Pete the Pup stage was horrible because you had there was one of them you had to catch the puppies, and then there was another stage where you had to escort the puppy from all the way across the stage, and you had to protect it and keep it from getting killed or hurt, and if you didn't protect it, if it got hit, then it would morph into
right, and it ate your face. And that's the way the game went a lot. And then trying to whip yourself up onto those damn hooks was supposed to help you get to the extra lives, the power blaster. I mean, even more health. To heal yourself, shit like that. I mean, it was a nightmare. But the game was fantastic. Okay, the game was fucking fantastic.
Yep. Well, it's the controls were easy to learn, but they were hard to master.
Except for Earthworm Jim 3D, that was a complete bowel movement.
Oh yeah, that was terrible. There were 2 ways to do the combat in the game. The player could use the gun that he carried, or he could use Jim's head as a whip or grappling.
It wasn't his head; it was his whole damned body.
It was his whole body, yeah. To hook up, to whip yourself and attach to the hooks and stuff and flip around. And if it worked, you could, make yourself move across the stage rather quickly. But then there was also we were talking about earlier today, there was a stage where the player you controlled Jim as he was riding the rocket through the tunnel trying to dodge the obstacles and stuff.
And it also had like a banjo country song playing while you were on that stage. It was pretty great. One of my favorites. I know that was part 2, I'm pretty sure, because you're chasing Psychro.
Right. Yeah. There was and in part 2 actually it was it said that the last stage was it wasn't a traditional boss fight, you were racing Psychro.
Yes, that's why you were on the rocket. You were just trying to beat him. And I was pretty successful with doing that. So,
right.
I was a much younger man.
Your reflexes were a lot quicker.
This is true.
Music from the game Earthworm Jim 2 was included in Game Central's Best of the Best CD compilation. So apparently the music was really good on this game.
The game was
a guy
awesome.
by the name of Tommy Tallarico.
Can you read?
The composer.
No, we can't.
Tommy Tallarico, whatever his name is.
Talcum powder. It's whatever.
Well, the music in this game, I do remember it having a great soundtrack. And both of the ones I played part 1 and part 2 a lot. Part 3, I don't remember a lot about because I hated it.
I don't think I played part 3 ever. I know I played.
I
think part 3 was 3D.
It was 3D.
Yeah. It was just like it was on the 64.
It was on the 64, and it was trash. Yeah. Complete trash.
It was horrible. Yeah.
It was super pixelated.
I remember us having it. We had it at some point because it was a yellow cartridge. I remember having that yellow cartridge.
Yep.
And banana hands.
We just didn't like it. We didn't like it, and wasn't for
I'm
us.
pretty sure I stopped playing it because it was crap. And then Bug Bumble held me through the years. So
here we go about Bug Bumble. It's hard. Bug Bumble. You got some fans out there of Bug Bumble.
Dude, I'm telling you, Bug Bumble was freaking awesome. I mean, you had different guns.
That game. It was fun.
It was insane. It was like one of my favorite. Well, I'm going to say it was one of my all-time favorites on the 64. Until Mario Party came out. So.
Well, definitely. Well, that game needs to be on the list of one of our topics soon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So
and my review for Earthworm Jim, I'm gonna read this paragraph sort of like you did last time.
All right.
Yes, I'm gonna read it. It says this,
here we go.
This was one of my favorite games on the NES, or on the SNES. All right.
SNES.
I really enjoyed the humorous aspect of the game. It was a lot of fun watching a cow fly through the air or fighting off a rabid bulldog. I never finished the game myself, but I did watch Zach play it a lot, and I think he may have beaten the game. I vaguely remember watching the cartoon series on WB Kids, but I don't remember a lot about it. The first two games in the series were really well done. The mechanics of the game worked really well, and it was hilarious hearing Jim yell out, "Ow!" when he would get hit or attacked by the dog or other bad guys. Now, I really liked this game, and the character was just fucking hilarious. He was one of my favorite video game characters ever.
Ow!
I always thought Zach would end up getting a tattoo of Earthworm Jim, but it never happened.
Yep.
No. I'm more into dragons.
Yeah, but Earthworm Jim would be sweet. Slaying a dragon or something, that'd be cool.
Riding a dragon, not slaying. You can't slay the dragon.
Well, whatever. Having sex with a dragon,
No.
maybe that makes more sense for your body. I don't know.
Earthworms, I don't know if they procreate with sexual activity.
Well, ones with spacesuits might.
The suit might get a little froggy. I don't.
So I'm saying it might have a built-in.
Well, if the frog gets near the earthworm is probably dead. So.
That's true.
Yeah, I agree with you, Scott, a lot. This game was it was one of those that sticks in your mind. You can always go back to it, and if you ever see it, like if I've just come across, there's Earthworm Jim, like if in a gaming store, a retro game store or something, I always just get happy memories. It's really cool game, and I hated it in a way because of the difficulty of it. Really was a tough game. You had to dedicate some time to it, and that's why Zach was always good to them kind of games because he would put in the effort. Me, I'd get kind of tired of them and push them away.
Yeah, I always got frustrated with the damn game. I mean, I tried playing through it 2 or 3 times. I get past the first stage, and then halfway through the second stage, and I'm getting my ass kicked by every freaking dog or crows flying around trying to snatch you up. I always got frustrated and handed Zach the controller. I was like, "Here, beat this shit, dude."
Yeah, the animation when the crow got a hold of your head was pretty damn funny. They'd shake you around.
I liked the animation when you were climbing across the chains or whatever, and he'd reach behind him, he'd pick up the ass end of the suit and hold it up above the dog's head.
Cool. He would keep him from biting his ass.
Yeah.
So on the reproduction of earthworms, they're simultaneous hermaphrodites, and I'll let you guys look that up.
No thanks.
Well, I can tell you what it is. Basically, they have both sex organs. They're male and female. They use them. Both worms, when they're having intercourse, use both of their reproductive organs at the same time. So they both give birth to eggs, babies, whatever the fuck.
Oh,
it's kind of gross.
Well, guys, I didn't realize this episode was going to turn into erotica, but it has.
Hey, you said useless knowledge. Well, I said it, but that's what it is. You got some more.
That is definitely useless knowledge, unless, of course, you are the owners of a worm farm.
This is true.
We're listening to this episode, and not
if you need to go fishing.
Gaming. This is now into the erotica section, guys. So you can't find it in a gaming section on iTunes. This is now the erotica section. So check there first.
I don't think we'd put it in the erotica section. It's fine.
It's going to have to be now. Double genitalia action is.
I didn't say anything about genitalia. I said reproductive organs.
Genitalia.
That's not.
And that's where the show went off the rails.
I'm pretty sure genitalia. Never mind.
Well, anyway, before we go off to anything that definitely will put us into the erotica category. We're going to go to a break, and we'll be back to talk about our future game, Mega Man 11. So stick around, guys. You're going to enjoy it. Horton Brothers Grimm listeners, do you love our podcast? Do you find yourself wanting more of our witty banter and underwhelming knowledge of video games? Then you are in luck. Go to our YouTube channel for Let's Plays and live streams of retro games featuring all three brothers. To find our channel, just click the link in the description of this episode or search Horton Brothers Grimm on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell while you're there so you never miss a new video. We want to thank you again for all your support. But now, let's get you back to the show. Hello, welcome back from that super awesome commercial. Again, probably the second best commercial ever made in the world. And we're back to talk about the future game. And that game is, of course, Mega Man 11. And Zach, you chose this game for this episode, so please lead us off and let us know what you think and all that good stuff.
All right, so the only thing I have is my review. I'm just kidding. I do have my review, and you're going to get it first. I can't actually give a review of this game because it's a future game. I haven't been able to play it. But I have watched the trailers, watched the gameplay, read about it, and it seems really interesting. So my review of this game is going to kick serious ass, and I'm planning on streaming on launch day. That's my review.
Nice.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about this game. So if you're growing up and you played any of the Mega Mans, you know that Dr. Wily is a piece of shit. All right? And we want to kill him because all he wants to do is destroy the world, where Dr. Light is like, oh, let's have peace and harmony, and it always gets crapped on by Dr. Wily and his flying spaceship. So, apparently, Dr. Wily developed a prototype known as the double gear system back in, college. So...
That's his college invention. He kind of forgot about it.
Yeah, it's just chilling, right? So Dr. Light's like, I'm going to put this on you, Mega Man. So, what the double gear system does is it gives you 3 abilities, basically. The one ability is like a time manipulation. It's called the speed gear. You can slow down time. You can use it to slow down time, of course. And I mean, just whatever situation you come upon. I mean, some examples they gave were...
This thing's very robust.
Right, exactly. So, like fast-moving enemies. Shit like that. Tricky platforms, as they say in the things I was reading. I just found it funny that, they're putting such terms in professional speech, The power gear, of course, your Mega Buster, give you more firepower. And the double gear, also at critical health, will allow you to activate the power and speed gear simultaneously, and it shoots like a big fireball, or a big shot, and it does more damage. So that's the 3 aspects of the double gear system. Even though it says double gear, should have been called triple gear, I think, but it's fine. I think we'll be okay. There's 3 gears, but it's whatever. It's whatever.
That's all in the mysteries. Like, it's double gear, but it does 3 things.
Right. So
it's very mysterious.
They're using like a 2.5D design on the game, so it's very aesthetically pleasing to the eye. It looks really, really crisp on the animation and everything. One thing that I think I'm not really, happy with is the voices. They give Mega Man a voice. I'm like, he's never had a voice. Not to my knowledge. It's always been when it's typing out the fucking words on the screen. Okay. But I guess you come with a new game design look. You got to have some other new stuff now. To my knowledge, I think
I just looked up.
Go ahead.
Sorry, there's TV shows of Mega Man, so he does have a voice.
Well,
it's just not in the games.
Come on.
Right. I was just letting you know. I mean, people will probably make that argument.
Well, you can make the argument about the shows, but the shows aren't in the game. Just throwing it out there. The shows aren't the game.
Well, I think this game's kind of attaching itself to the shows. Maybe there's future shows coming out, and they're kind of like going to tie it all in. You know how they do.
It's very possible. They could be doing that. Which is okay. I mean, I don't mind. I do mind the voice, but it doesn't matter.
I'm just a purist.
Well, they've tied in the whole anime aspect of it, and because your anime games, they have to say the attack that they're going to do.
Yeah, that's true.
They have to say
Rush Coil. I mean, my God. I wanted to jump off a ledge, but I didn't have any control of it. So, so hopefully I can move past that when I'm playing. Like I said in my review, this game is going to kick some serious ass. I'm just telling you. The only two bosses I know of that are in the game is that block dude and the electric dude. All right, the only character maps I could find, they were all question marks. It looks like you have to beat those two guys before the other ones are revealed.
Wow.
So I'm not sure how that's going to end up. Because I couldn't find anything on it. I looked. Now, if there is something out there that I missed, please tell me. Because I would love to see this. We have till October the 2nd. Send me a private message while you still can on YouTube. Whatever you got to do. Mm-hmm. Or you could just leave a comment somewhere on one of these SoundCloud places or iTunes or what we got? Stitcher. What else we got?
Yep. TuneIn, Google Play Music.
Yeah. Got plenty of places to leave a message. All right, so I really don't have a lot to say about the game. Like I said, there's not a lot out there, but I guarantee you everyone is anticipating this sequel because you got all the way to Mega Man 10. Then you have the Mega Man X series that went off, I'm guessing, past Dr. Light because, he dropped the capsules and everything. He's pretty much dead. But Dr. Light's alive again in this game, so I'm going to say it's safe to say that this is well before Mega Man X, which is awesome. In my opinion. I don't know about everybody else's opinion, but I think it's awesome.
Seems to be slightly rage-inducing, though.
I don't know. Who's getting ragey about it?
I don't know. I think I seem to recall a video on our YouTube channel that might show.
What are you talking about? Mega Man X.
Who got some rage? Mega Man X.
Well, what I was raging about was the ROM. Okay, it wasn't the game. Because if you didn't notice, on a certain YouTube channel, I've redeemed that very easily. So very, very easily. And it's all good because that's what happens when you're good at stuff. And of course, this game is made by Capcom. If you did not know that Mega Man was made by Capcom, then you should never touch a Mega Man game ever.
This is true.
And you have disappointed me. Platforms are going to be the Nintendo Switch, Steam, Xbox One, PS4. Coolest thing is, and one thing that I kind of have a gripe about again, there are exclusive pre-orders out there. One's through GameStop. They have a bundle. No, I haven't found a bundle with anybody else. So GameStop's got the bundle, I think, exclusively. So if you want to get like the collector's edition stuff with this release of the game, like little figures and stuff, you have to go to GameStop. You have no choice. It's $60 for that bundle because you get an Amiibo. It is the Amiibo edition is what they're calling it. And I'm not sure of anybody else that has the Amiibo edition. I looked. I want the Amiibo edition, so hopefully
it's gonna be $60.
Yes, $59.99. Hopefully, the hints I put out today, I will be receiving this game at some point, unless I have to go buy it myself, I guess. It's whatever. It's whatever I got to do to get this thing, and I will have it. I will have the Amiibo edition, one way or another.
Yeah, the Amiibo is very nice. It's very nice. I like the Amiibos myself, so I'm probably going to try to get it as well. Because Mega Man 11 is looking pretty sweet in my opinion. I like the design. I like the anime style.
Right.
I like the voice because I think it's a sexy, manly voice. And
don't
I just want to sound like that myself.
Start with me on the voice.
Well, the voice really is what makes this game to me. I think the voice.
No,
really
it's definitely the animation.
ties the game, like, it's going to make this game the best Mega Man out there because it's got a voice. I'm just excited about it because I can close my eyes and listen to Mega Man talk to me.
He doesn't say that much. He just says like "Rush Coil" is the only thing I've heard him say, but I can't. I just don't know why there's a voice, and
I really think this voice thing is definitely underrated.
Well, it's definitely a new wrinkle in the story. I'll say that.
And when I see Chris in person, I'm going to slap him.
I
don't like any
of the other Mega Man games because there was no voice. I was like, this is bullcrap. Why doesn't he have a voice? I know he can talk.
Oh my god!
And finally have made the best, perfect Mega Man.
Dr. Light told him to shut his mouth, and that's what he did. He was a good boy.
Sounds like Pinocchio.
Now that was lying. That was a little bit different.
Well, see, here, what was it back last year? The creator of Mega Man released that, what was it, Mighty Number 9, and there was really high expectations for that game, and when it finally came out, everybody was like, "Oh my god!"
Well, Mighty Number 9, we have to talk about it because it happened. All right. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a game called Azure Gunvolt or whatever it's called. Azure Striker Gunvolt. That's what Mighty Number 9 reminded me of. Just a better looking Azure Striker Gunvolt. Even though Gunvolt is a great game, I actually have it and I like it. Because, yeah, let's just go with that. I like it. I can't go into detail of why I like it because there's so much stuff in the game that is like Mega Man's, the platformer, the abilities you get from killing things. It's all good. If you haven't checked that game out, go ahead and check out Gunvolt there. Azure Striker Gunvolt.
All right. Well, I mean, Mega Man 11 is coming out October 2nd, 2018.
That's right.
Looks like we've pretty much covered it really well here. Is there anything else you guys want to add to it?
If you found anything other than what I found, please tell me about it. Because I would like to know. I want to see more. Even though it's a damn guarantee that I'm getting this game. So I just picked up the I guess it's the anniversary edition. Or no, it was the Legacy Collection. And it's got the 1 and the 2 of the Legacy Collection. So I have Mega Man 1 through 10 on my Switch right now. And they still piss me off like they did when I was a young kid. I'm very angry about falling in holes and all that other crap.
Yep. So I got both Legacy Collections on the Xbox.
Yeah, I think I gave you one of those.
Yep. You did. We bought one, and then you gave one to Matt for Christmas or something, didn't you?
No, I just gave it to him. It was, no, I think I did buy him a brand new one. For the Xbox One, maybe?
Yeah, it was for the one. Yeah.
Hopefully he's playing it. Better play it.
Well, it sounds like you two are very prepared for it when it comes out. I'm going to have to catch up. I'm going to have to get those Legacy Collections myself.
You should get them if you don't have them.
Play through them. I shall. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that's going to bring us to the end of our 5th episode. And again, thank you so much for listening. We're going to tell you a little bit about where you can find us out there on the internet. So, Zach, we'll let you lead that off.
Yeah, I'm on YouTube at Genova Destro, of course. Twitter is at Genova Destro, the actual @ at Genova Destro. And I got a story about that as well. But on Twitch, I'm Genova Destro.
All right. And Scott?
You can find me at the YouTube channel, The Games of Death. I'm not going to tell you how to spell that, because if you've listened to 4 episodes before this one, you should already know.
What about the new listeners?
Nevertheless, well, okay. For the new guys, Death is spelled D-E-T-H. And I do have a Twitch channel. It's Death Dealer 3.
And that's Death Dealer with an O-R.
That's correct.
Not the E-R. It's not a drug dealer.
That's correct. Anyway, those are the 2 places you can find me.
All right. And, of course, you can find me at my YouTube channel, Bang Bang Potato. And my Twitter channel is at Bang Bang Potato 1. And you can find me on Twitch if you want to. I don't ever go over there and do anything, but it's Bang Bang Potato over on Twitch. And my Instagram is also Bang Bang Potato. Check that out. And as far as our group social medias go, you can go to www.hortonbrothersgrimm.com, and then there's a lot of information there, guys. It will take you to all of our podcast locations. It'll take you to our YouTube channel, which is also called Horton Brothers Grimm. We've got several episodes and videos of segments of our podcast, let's plays of some older games, live streams, some games we've talked about. So please go check that out. Subscribe. And you can follow us at Twitter at Horton Grimm. And remember, guys, please go check out iTunes if you have access to iTunes, and leave us a 5-star review. Leave a comment. Hashtag Knuckleheads. Hashtag Scotty is awesome. And guys, we are going to be talking about some awesome games on the next episode. The retro game is what? Zach, what did you choose?
You're going to love this one. The game was made by Blizzard. Okay. Back when Blizzard was freaking awesome. Okay. The name of the game, Blackthorn. I would tell you a little bit about it, but I want you to come back to the next podcast.
Oh, yes. Blackthorn is a good game. And Scott, present day game for you is what? Drum roll, please, because he hasn't told us yet, ladies and gentlemen. So we're learning it just the same time as you are. Go.
Present day game, I would say we're going to talk about Diablo 3. And I know there's a lot of people out there that talk about Diablo 3, but come back and listen to us talk. It'll be more fun.
You can also watch us play it as soon as that season hits.
That is true.
And that'd be June 15th. That'd be the end of this week, Friday.
For the future game, unfortunately, the trend is going to die there. I did not pick a Blizzard game. I went with Jump Force, an upcoming game that includes the characters from Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, and One Piece. I'm very pumped about that game. We'll talk about that on the next episode.
He could have picked the next expansion of Warcraft, but no. let's not do that.
All Blizzard episode. No.
I'd say that's a tiny bit out of the scope.
It could have been a Blizzard podcast.
No. We're not going to let Blizzard have it all this time. Sorry, guys. Jump Force, you're going to love it. It's an awesome, cool-looking game. Well, we're going to have to go now because I'm getting a little bit creeped out. And it's hard to do, if you haven't heard the podcast. I'm usually the one creeping him out, so he's already done it to me now. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching again. And we hope you have a great week. We'll see you in 2 more of those same weeks. Come back and check us out again.
And as the Sandman would say, good night.
See ya.